Everyone keeps asking the same question. Can Zelda actually compete with GTA 6? Wrong question. Asking if Ocarina of Time Remake will outsell GTA 6 is like asking if really King Kong had a chance against Godzilla.
No, seriously, who thought so?
For the first time in over a decade, Rockstar actually has someone stealing the spotlight. And somehow, it is in Ubisoft, it is in Sony, it is in Bethesda, it is in EA. It's Nintendo. A company whose biggest innovation this generation was convincing millions of adults to pay $80 to traumatize Koroks.
Everyone's talking about sales. GTA 6 has already broken records before launch.
Billions of pre-orders, the collector's edition cost almost as much as a used kidney. Rockstar probably recovered half the development budget before anyone even reached the title screen. Ocarina of Time Remake isn't winning that fight. And honestly, nobody expected it to. GTA 6 is launching on PlayStation install base for over 90 million consoles, plus Xbox. Zelda? One console, one ecosystem, one very expensive ticket into Hyrule. This isn't David versus Goliath, it's David versus the IRS.
Here's what's fascinating. Rockstar spent over a decade making what might become the biggest entertainment release in history.
Bigger map, better AI, better graphics, more NPCs, more realism, more everything. Meanwhile, Nintendo looked at all of that and said, "What if Link just rolls into a tree again?" Somehow, both announcements completely dominated gaming discussions.
That's insane because Zelda isn't competing by copying Rockstar. It's competing by being the exact opposite.
GTA 6 represents modern AAA, massive budgets, thousands of developers, Hollywood actors, motion capture, 8 years of development, probably enough coffee to kill an elephant. Ocarina represents something else: design, discovery, adventure, simplicity. You don't remember Ocarina because its grass had realistic physics. You remember it because 28 years later, people still remember Water Temple.
Unfortunately.
Because every major publisher spent the last 15 years trying to become Rockstar. Ubisoft tried, Bethesda tried, CD Projekt tried, even Sony started chasing gigantic cinematic blockbusters. Bigger, longer, more expensive, more realistic, and somehow, the only game capable of standing next to GTA 6 is a remake of a Nintendo 64 game.
That's not irony, that's a f***ing war crime. And then there's the Game Awards. Guess it's where things become hilarious.
Because sales don't decide Game of the Year, critics do. Or at least that's what I like to believe. Which means the biggest game ever made could lose to a remake. Imagine spending billions of dollars, hiring thousands of developers, building the most advanced open world in history, only to lose Game of the Year to a guy wearing green tights from 1998.
If that happens, Rockstar will be the Leonardo DiCaprio or Peter O'Toole of the Oscars.
There's another difference nobody talks about. Rockstar doesn't need to sell hardware. Nintendo does. GTA 6 sells software. Zelda sells an entire console. That's why Nintendo doesn't need GTA's audience. They only need enough people to look at Ocarina and say, "Fine, I'll buy the damn Switch."
Funny thing, everyone says these games aren't competing.
Different audience, different genres, different platforms.
Really? Because I only have one wallet. I really don't know if I have all that free time.
And unless Nintendo secretly accepts kidneys as payment, I'm probably choosing one first. Every entertainment product competes the same three things: your money, your time, and your attention. GTA 6 and Zelda are absolutely fighting the battle.
Maybe this says something bigger about gaming.
For years, publishers believed the future meant bigger worlds, bigger budgets, bigger teams, bigger prices, longer development, more live service games, more AI, more shareholders, and somehow fewer actual games. Nintendo ignored almost all of that. They keep making Nintendo games.
Maybe that's why they're the only company people genuinely compare to Rockstar. Not because they're bigger, because they're different.
GTA 6 will probably become the biggest launch in entertainment history. Nobody serious doubts that, but that's not what makes this interesting. The interesting part is that after all these years, after billions of dollars, after nearly a decade of development, every publisher tried to become Rockstar. The only company capable of stealing part of the conversation is the one that never tried to be Rockstar in the first place.
Maybe the future of gaming isn't about making bigger games. Maybe it's about making games unforgettable.
Because anyone can build a larger world. Everything can build a world people still want to revisit. 28 years later, and honestly, that's a much scarier achievement.
So what do you think about this so-called fight? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribe, share, and like. And, well, nothing. I got nothing. See ya.